Welcome to the third of 4 programs on defensive programming. My name's Andy Wicks, and in this video, we're going to look at the terrible trio. There are 3 kinds of people who are going to try and wreck your program. We're going to go through each of the 3 in the hope that you'll understand your enemy better. And if you understand the enemy, well, then you'll be able to handle them far more easily. So let's get going. The first kind of person we're going to look at are the users. They're evil. Users will try and break your code. Get over it. That's just how it is. They'll put their name in the box for the date of birth. They'll put their shoe size in the name field. And you'll get a whole host of random characters when they're asked to enter their postcode. They'll do all sorts of silly things. Unfortunately, saying that the user is silly is not going to make you popular. It's your job to handle these problems, not the user. Your code should not fall over ever. You have to check the type of information that they've entered is reasonable. This is called data validation. Now, one way to avoid this sort of error is to use drop-down boxes, if that's appropriate. The users can then only choose something that's valid, but everything else is down to you. You have to check that the type of information entered is reasonable. The second kind of enemy you're going to have are other programmers. Your classes will be reused. That's the whole point of object-oriented programming. Programmers have far more access to tricks to fool your code, so they can be more inventive, and it's up to you to make sure you use encapsulation, the use of private variables, getters and setters, to protect your classes. It's down to you to make your reputation. The third kind of person you need to be aware of is your worst enemy. You. Only you have the ability to really wreck your reputation. And it's a talent that all programmers have. You have to write your code assuming that you will make errors. Yes, I know this goes against years, decades of schooling, but that's what you've got to do. Any time that you think you write good code is the time that errors are going to creep in that really wreck things. So this is the opposite of what you've done up to now. And quite often we have students say, but I wrote it exactly the way you did it in the handout and it doesn't work. Your handout's wrong, or Python doesn't work, and it's all terrible and it's not me. Well, the bad news is it is you. Your code may work when you try it, but will it run if the data changes, the location of your program changes, the user makes silly mistakes, other programmers using your class do a silly, or even you do a silly? No, you've got to get these things right. You've got to get them sorted. That is being professional.